There goes Dane. What is it? Huh? Paimon's trying to remember. What else did we put on our shopping list? Oh, what a mouth-watering smell. Paimon would know the aroma of biryani anywhere. Let's go get some. We can still add it to the list.
Well, if it isn't the Traveler and Paimon. Wasn't expecting to see you here.
Hello there. Oh, it's been quite a...
The Homayanis also...
I told Dia my parents were
That sounds... Anyway, the job is already...
You can stay for as many days as you...
You know I'm not the kind of...
What? She said they'll treat you to the...
But wait. There are so many places I still...
I'm sorry, my lady, but no...
Oh, come on.
I know.
All right, fine. Ever since you first... Have you been delaying our trip?
Nah, are you kidding?
Would you swear on that? Friends shouldn't lie to each other, you know. I wouldn't pry any further if you're willing to swear on what you just said. But if something really is bothering you, then just tell me. You know...
Oh, looks like dude.
You're 2%. I just thought that nothing good. Mercenary life is a...
That doesn't change.
My lady. All right, I'll share what I know. Okay, let's talk here. Just try not to draw any extra attention. As you may already know, my brigade is... However...
Deshret's relics? Judging from the name, they must really look up to...
Yep, you got it. I've heard that you've already crossed paths with Ain al-Akmar. They're one of the groups under the Relic's banner.
Oh, you mean the group that tried to sell us the Divine Knowledge Capsule? Yeah, they weren't friendly at all.
Deshret's Relics is composed of many smaller brigades like Ain al-Akmar. The Relic's headquarters issues orders to all brigades under his control. On any other day, I would want nothing to do with them. Unfortunately, though, the brigade that's stirring up trouble now is none other than Dakan al-Akmar.
Dakan?
I think it means beard or something. Believe me, it's a really stupid name. I found it insufferable for years. Anyway, the real issue is that Dakan al-Akmar is led by my father, Kusela.
Say what now?
I think I'm starting to understand your anxiety now. But what did they do?
I won't go into details, my lady, but they've been involved in a lot of violent incidents. We're talking hundreds.
Hundreds?
Yep. The scenes tend to be quite gruesome, too. They strip the victims of all their valuables before murdering them. Not only have they targeted merchant caravans and ordinary citizens, but other mercenary brigades as well.
That's beyond terrible. They won't even spare their own kind.
I don't know how Deshret's Relic sees it. All I do know is that Dakan al-Akmar has become more and more aggressive over the last few years. If I don't do something about them, then even my brigade or the people of Aru village could become their next target. I just wish I knew what's driven him to do this.
Yeah. How How can your father do such terrible things?
I don't know. People change. He's always been pretty pathetic. But at least in the past, there were still a few lines that he wouldn't cross.
That's setting the bar pretty low.
I mean, if he was even remotely decent, then why would I have to leave the brigade and cut all ties with him? He was loud and foolish, with no real sense of purpose. Instead of doing anything useful, he spent most of his time drinking and chasing after women. Of course, the other brigade members were just like him. Their ruckus would go on night after night.
Sounds like a nightmare.
What about your mother? Did she ever step in to stop them?
Unfortunately, I never knew my mother.
I'm sorry, Dia. I didn't know.
It's all right, my lady. That's pretty common in mercenary circles. Didn't I mention that my father was chasing after women? I was the result of one of those encounters with some random person. He told me that he wasn't sure who my mother was. And in any case, she never came to see me. He'd say, "You'll be fine as long as you remember to stick with Dad." But even then, he left most of the parenting to the brigade. The one thing I do remember is that he used to tell me stories. But the problem was that he had terrible taste. He only knew a few stories, and even those tended to be pretty stale. They were tales of desert warriors defeating dragons in the forest, or stories of mercenaries rescuing princesses from rebel armies.
Sounds like your typical fairy tales.
More or less, yeah. They were interesting maybe the first or second time around, but after about 20 repeats, they started to get a little dull. He seemed to think those stories were the best things ever, though. He was so into them that he'd call the whole brigade over and make them perform the whole thing as a play. Even the toys he gave me would all be stored. It was only much later when I realized that the show—
What an interesting guy.
Yeah, I've always found him pretty childish, but that was something I could just shrug off. Until I grew up, and looting, no one in the— Did they really?
I think I can
Yeah, but don't worry, my lady. It's all water under the bridge to me now. I had a huge argument with my father, and I'm not investigating them due to any bitter feelings I still have towards my father. I just want to protect those that are close to me. Yeah,
I see. But isn't this investigation incredibly dangerous?
It is, but every mercenary lives life on the edge. It's a lifestyle that I enjoy.
That may be true, but it'll be impossible for those who care about you not to worry.
Well, now you get why I didn't want to share any of this with you.
What should we do? They both have valid concerns.
Huh? But there's no need for you to get caught up in this mess, too.
Well, he's super tough, so if he went into the desert with you, then Paimon bets the problem will be solved in no time.
I'm inclined to agree. I'd feel a lot more at ease if you took— I'll wait for news from you in the city.
All right, then let's get moving. Our first stop will be Caravan Reebok.
Too slow. Hey, Dia, you're back. Are these two friends of yours? Oh? So, anyway, since we've got a newcomer, they've become extremely— They even attack—
Even the most ferocious—
That's right. A portion of their
That's terrible.
Yeah, and a few days ago, rather than saying they're out to—
Wait,
You heard me right. If their only goal was Mora, they could— Unfortunately, one last thing we discovered was that
it sounds mighty strange to me. Gotta say, though, I didn't expect—
Nah.
What he said. Yeah. And while they went to any survivors, we rushed over as soon. Although this new friend of yours looks a little green behind. Now that we know you'll have a—
Hey, what?
Oh,
Of course. Hi.
oh. And
Don't worry about her. Even if she had only survived on sheer luck.
I had. Oh, one other thing, Dia. We held another recruitment event a few days ago, but the deputy put a lot of effort into the event, but it was basically for nothing. Only a few people chose to stay, and that really got to him.
Sorry to hear that. I'll be sure to bring him some great liquor next time. I left in a hurry and I couldn't make—
Gotta admit, I can understand their disappointment, though. You're our brigade's main selling. Now, if only the deputy could figure out a way to bring a few more smoking hot members into our—
Keep dreaming. Remember the last time I invited a couple The awkward silence and weird expressions left quite the impression on him.
Hey, didn't we agree to Huh? Wait, are you—
I don't...
Are you kidding me? I missed a once-in-a-lifetime moment like that, and you weren't—
All right.
Hey, don't you try to change the subject. You and Hisham get your butts over here.
Are they?
There aren't many rules or graces when it comes— If someone starts getting under your skin, you just yell. But we also don't tend to take many things too seriously. Being direct and getting— That's also why I never spare their feelings when I talk to them. If I want to laugh, I'll laugh. Hey, knucklehead.
Yeah. All you gotta do?
Perfect. Thanks for that. Be sure to pass my—
Will do.
There's no such thing as You think I've got a sharp tongue? I just tell it like it is.
I see everything.
This should be the place. It's gonna come down to a fight one way or—
No need to worry.
Here they come. You ready? Let's not give them—
Everyone hold hands.
That's close enough.
Teamwork is dreamwork! Huh?
The wind rises. Bow your head.
I'll be back.
You're... the flame...
Good. That saves me.
You know the code.
That might have worked on an amateur. Think about it, though. What? You've got 5—
Whoa!
I'm not joking. 2 seconds!
I'll save you the trouble.
Huh? Are you crazy? He tried to bite off his own tongue. Quick, search the area for any first aid supplies. I definitely didn't expect him to go that—
What?
I just wanted to test his mettle. You can get a lot— I didn't expect him to be willing to go through so much pain just to deny us some intel.
Well, he's out cold for now.
Yeah, don't worry about— Let me take a look. Yep. I see an entry for Dakana Lakmar right here. Kusela, Idrisi, Bashar, and Takriti. All familiar names. Dakana, this caravan is just one link in their logistics. That person will then pack the Wait, why is there no...
Nova.
Yeah, every transaction before the last... perhaps. But they couldn't have known... Anyway, huh?
What's wrong?
Shazaman Homayani?
Homoyani? You mean Dunyarzad's family?
I'd be surprised. Just what the heck is going on here? I'm sorry, you're right. But what this piece of paper confirms...
What if the Homoyani...
That's a possibility. But if that was the case, they could have just as easily bought goods such as food and medicine Yeah, funding violence and looting. The brigade gets the goods, and he is paid the proceeds from the sale of the loot.
But why would he do something like this? It's not like the Homoyanis are in need of money.
I've been to their estate many... The only potentially large expenditure I could think of would be the treatment costs for Dunyarzad's Elazar. But that's still just a speculation. I don't think the Master would stoop so low to make Mora. You're probably right.
But what should we do now? All we found is just another mystery.
If you ask me, we already have no choice but to confront her about this. I'm not worried. It's too early to make a verdict yet. Let's go find my lady again. We'll tell her everything. If we're lucky, we can not only figure out the
Dia, are you sure this is the best decision?
I've considered that possibility. But even still, she showed genuine concern for me when we first brought up the topic. I can't repay her That's not how I deal with people.
You're right. Paimon wants to trust Dunyarzad too.
Yeah. Let's pay another visit to Sumeru City.
Behold!
We're back, my lady.
Oh, you're back alive.
Actually,
I see.
something like...
You all look a little... Why don't you discuss...
It's okay, my lady.
So something... on any other day...
My lady.
The Master. Okay. My father.
Yeah. I've never doubted the Master's maybe he's not actually aware of the...
I can't help but agree.
Huh?
Thank you for since you've told me everything in the past. However, there are plenty of capable mercenaries in the Corps.
About that. Well, the Homayanis really needed bodyguards, so... Later, the Master told me that I was one of the best mercenaries he'd ever seen. He offered me a pile of Moras.
Well, but that didn't really answer my question.
Maybe the Corps of 30 just didn't have anyone available, or... I think I get what you're saying. You think none of this was a coincidence?
Precisely. At first glance, if my father had always been in contact with Dakan al-Akmar.
You mean to go all along?
No, that's too much of a stretch. I cut all ties with my father a long time ago. He has no control over my life anymore.
But that still doesn't rule out the possibility that your father has still been trying to influence your life with...
So, the Master was...
Sorry we put all this on you so
It's okay, Paimon. I should actually be thankful, regardless of his reasons, if my father has truly been...
But is that... My father has committed many However, the Homayani family is If we decide to investigate this first...
Tia.
It's alright, Dia.
You don't have to do...
Hey! It's still too early to give up hope! What was the thing about... Right, yeah, Trot! Besides, there's no point on getting all riled up.
Thank you, everyone. In which case, my lady, could...
Sure thing. I also hope he'll be able to give us...
Usual place?
Thank you for coming, sir. Please allow me to
But we may skip all the pleasantries for now.
Well, we wanted to bring this transaction record to your attention.
So, that's what you found?
If you wouldn't mind, we'd like an explanation.
Well, it's a long and difficult story. And to be perfectly honest, I'm not... What I do know, though, dear...
Wait.
Yes. But knowledge of your father could say... Of course, the facts of this matter may... If you must proceed.
I've made it this far. I have my own ideal. I came here today...
Our family once needed... They had superior numbers. And those Eremites were Kusela's men told Kusela was grinning.
Really?
He said that he had no We started talking about our children and to repay his kindness. I hired his brigade to help out at our estate for a time, and...
So, that's what happened.
It was many years before I saw him again. I almost didn't recognize him the next time he came knocking on my door. The man I knew to be strong and healthy had been reduced to a shell of himself. He couldn't even walk anymore without his cane.
So, what happened to him? He was perfectly fine when I left the brigade.
I'm not too sure myself. The only thing that didn't change was his cheery disposition. He said there was absolutely nothing to worry about and that he had gotten into a fight. That was all. He then suddenly asked me if Dunyarzad, now that she had grown, would need a bodyguard of her own. At the time, Dunyarzad was going through a particularly severe bout of her Elazar. There was no need for her to have a bodyguard when she could barely leave the house. But he kept coming back to the topic. Come on, it never hurts to be safe. How do you know a bodyguard won't come in handy one day? I was completely lost at first, until he recommended the Blazing Beasts, and in particular, a mercenary named Dia.
So he was the one who recommended Dia to you.
Indeed. He didn't say it out loud, but it was clear that he saw Deshret's relics as an evil group who would eventually corrupt every member in their ranks. He was already beyond redemption, but he hoped that he would be able to detach his daughter from the vicious world of mercenary life. If Dia could stay in my house and keep working as a bodyguard, then gradually her affinity for the desert would decrease, and she'd be able to leave her previous life behind.
And that's why you offered her such generous compensation?
Yes, but not just because of that. From the moment that he asked me for that favor, I also began to see Dia as my own daughter. And that's also why I tried to persuade you to stay when you asked for permission to leave. I was willing to spend however much it took. Kusela saved my daughter and I all those years ago in the desert. I could never refuse him entrusting his daughter to me.
He was always like that, acting like he's oh so smart and self-righteous.
Kusela said that he'd reimburse me for a portion of Dia's fees. I refused to take any mora from him, but he'd always sent me funds anyway. Eventually, I just accepted them as a token of his gratitude. And that went on for a while until I received another letter from him a few years ago. The letter contained a request to help him buy food, weapons, medicine, and even explosive materials.
Wait! Isn't that around the time that Dekan al-Ahmar started becoming more aggressive?
That's right. When I started to hear some nasty rumors, I became wary. I wanted to meet him face to face to discuss things. But by then, he was no longer receptive to my requests to talk. If I had to guess, it's probably because he doesn't want to put Dia at risk. That thought occurred to me as well. I figured that he probably came to me for help because he had nobody else to turn to. After some deliberation, I decided to send him some food and medicine. I turned down all his requests for explosives and weaponry. I am aware that even such a reduced gesture of support could lead to others coming to harm, but I could not simply reject his plea for help. In the end, it probably was the wrong decision. I plugged my ears to the rumors and just chose a solution that made me feel least guilty about myself.
If you can, please tell me where he is now. None of the things he's doing right now make any sense if he's just trying to keep me from getting tangled up in his world. If all he wants to do is steer clear of me, then maybe he shouldn't have brought me into this world in the first place.
Oh no. Dia, please don't feel that way.
I'm just angry because I can't wrap my head around any of his actions. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't think I can do it. But I guess you do have a point. We haven't uncovered the whole truth yet. We still need—
I'll do my best to help. Of course, anything between the two of you would need to be resolved between you and him alone. I don't know Kusela's exact whereabouts. Outside of supplying his However, there's a man on the list named Jawed. He used to be a mercenary in the desert and is now a member of the Corps of 30. He's responsible for supplying weapons and liaising with the Dakan al-Akhmar's merchant caravan. I think he should know Kusela's whereabouts. I've heard that he likes to have a few drinks alone and enjoy the cool wind at night outside the tavern. Maybe you'll be able to find him there.
Understood. Thank you, sir. Then I guess this is bye for now, unless—
I'll stay and be with my father here. To be honest, I'm still a little dazed and haven't finished processing everything quite yet. My father has indeed done something wrong, but if I think about it, I'm also not sure if there was a right way to handle this problem. I feel like our only course of action is to turn everything we know over to the Corps of 30 and let—
Yes. I am prepared to accept whatever verdict they choose. It's time to face my mistakes.
Quit following me. Huh? Who are—
I know what you—
Shh! Keep your voice down. Come with me. We should take this else. This place should do. Alright, back to my question.
Don't worry about that for now. You know what kind of punishment you'll face once we report you to the Corps, I assume.
Wait, there's no need to jump the gun. Let's talk this out. What are your terms?
So what's in it for you anyway, Mora?
Well, I was a little tight on money at the time, and Kusela took good care of me in the past. I waited in my mind, and
Let me tell you how it is. We're investigating. If you provide some help...
Hey, why don't we discuss...
Shut it. My patience is running out. You should know when a merc...
All right, sheesh. They're always on the move. Feel free to go...
Sure.
Hey, come on.
Really?
All right, I get it.
Now that's more like it. Let's move. And as for you...
The wind rises.
Seems like we're in luck. Let's go. We'll finally get to the bottom of this ourselves. I'm here to see Kusela. Tell him to get out here.
Tia, why are you here?
Swan Fury.
Haven't you all done enough?
Oh, so are you also here to stop us?
Stay out of this. It's got nothing to do with you.
Self-alone! Hey! Hi! Huh! Cha! Hi! Ah!
Behold!
Enough fighting. We all just bring Did you understand a single word I just said?
All right, everyone, let's... He died. A long time.
What?
Seems like you've been out of the...
When did he die? What happened to him?
A few years ago, Kusela broke up Dakan al-Ahmar and went to the Deshrets.
So is that when you guys started acting?
We would prefer to call it taking revenge.
Overwhelming strength?
Those were apart, regardless, whether it be their deepest sin, some That's precisely... But you, Dia.
I never...
You were probably the...
Ever since you were born. Not only that, but in the end, he was forced to go...
We all knew.
And that's...
Wait, but...
Because you were too young. When you left home after...
So, even the...
Yep. It was all his...
A few years ago, Boss said he needed to make another trip. I suggested that he had... His words made no sense to me. But that night, we heard...
Everyone gained their freedom that night. But how could we leave with a clear conscience?
The boss can't have just...
From that point on, the big fire that... Even though we're outnumbered, we vowed to see our revenge. There were people but we won't let...
We've suffered. All we can do... We forged. We were also Deshrets.
Paimon doesn't know what to say anymore.
We do know right from wrong. But we were sinners from the very beginning. Boss always... We used to always... As for me, but... Maybe we were all... I'm sorry, Dia.
I'll go with you.
Huh? Dia?
I grew up with these guys. All I know is that... Furthermore, I know you don't want to get involved in this, so there's no need for you to tag along. I can do this on my own.
Yeah.
I bet Boss would...
Considering all the law...
He can think whatever, but the fact...
rises. Behold! Too slow. Squall and fury. Upon the gale. Surge forth. The wind rises. Squall and fury. Following me. The wind rises. Too slow.
Is this the entrance? We sure didn't run into much trouble on the way here.
Should be.
This is how it must be. Wow. Paimon didn't expect it to look like this on the inside.
They should all be holed up in here. Don't know how many people they've got left, though.
Who cares? We'll round up all of them.
Still, we should be careful. Even if they've only got one shot left, it could still take us out.
Yeah, we'll know what they're really capable of once we've landed some hits on them. Deshret's relics may have been a force to be reckoned with before.
Yeah, they don't stand a chance with you here.
Everyone hold hands. Delve into destiny. Everybody stand back.
Regret.
Where do you think you're going? I'll be back. New punching bag.
You're dead meat.
Neat. Feeling lucky today.
Fallen
work! I'm getting shadows of fate!
I see everything. Just like we rehearsed. Go!
You asked for it!
This way, follow me. We're almost there.
Wait! They went charging ahead without checking for any...
Hey, you guys okay?
It seems like we...
Watch out, the enemy's coming from ahead. Well, now don't worry about us. Let's go. We can't let the boss...
Let's check if there's another way! The sooner we can...
Let's see. I think I see a way through over there, but it's being...
Okay, let...
Look alive! Let me scry! Decided by destiny! Going in!
The Temple of Wisdom! Committed to memory!
Buckle up! Huh, cha, kya, ha!
Another mechanism like the one before, but this one's being blocked off in the middle.
We just need to adjust it a little.
Look alive!
Forward Emma! Go!
Shadows of fate! You're dead meat! Let me scry! Shadows of fate!
Just like we rehearsed, right?
Written in the stars! Teamwork is dreamwork! Huh?
Make yourself a room. Hey,
Let's get it on! You asked for it!
wait a little.
Yeah, let's light it up!
I wasn't expecting anyone to make it, but as a desert
Don't waste your breath.
run, I witness, even now, the greatest.
So
Let us draw. They are but two. Wave one, charge! Eliminate them!
Everybody stand back!
The Temple of Wisdom!
Where do you think you're going?
Decided by destiny. Delve into destiny. You're dead meat!
You don't think that you've won. You're just getting started.
I've been through worse.
Teamwork is dreamwork! Fate is upon you.
Surely not.
Look alive!
Meet again.
How? King Deshret will not abandon any one of his followers.
Gloves off!
Never testing my patience. We'll meet again.
Everybody stand back!
I see everything.
Written in the stars. Shadows of fate. Hey!
Brothers! This is where we prove our faith.
Do you all just want to die?
None of us plan to leave this place alive!
Where do you think you're going? Fate is upon you.
Pound
Delve
into the
death.
ground!
This off the side.
The golden slumber.
Make yourselves at home.
the commander is finally.
But there's still. This place is like a
Yes!
When the next wave, I'm going to see if I.
Get out of my way!
Come and face me, Mitchell! So apologies, look. So,
Time to pay for.
I will be buried in the sand.
Hey, wait!
We were too late.
It's over. But if you're still going...
Hey, Dia! I found the mechanism. I'll get you all back up here right away.
Let's go.
Who are you filthy rats? And why?
You call yourself...
Who? Hey, have you ever heard of a man? What?
This is your...
Hey, if you're here to find something...
The irony. His life became a light for so many... Where's the records room?
It's right over there.
I mean the...
The old Kusela. Watch your mouth. He was definitely... But in the short time, he couldn't have And after that...
Stop wasting... Tell me.
It's just over there. There's nothing left in there but... Bashar, Tikriti, let's go. Spare them no...
So, this was his final destination. How did he do... If he was nimble enough to do that, then... I'm sorry.
Is this a cane?
Kusela.
Thanks for everything, boss.
We're fortunate to somehow find...
Let's split up and look around.
But what else could survive a fire like that?
Huh? Thought so.
Wait! Isn't that the toy sword you played with as a child?
The dragon is no more, for Princess Dia has slain it. Its head now hangs above the city gates. Her bravery has brought eternal peace and prosperity to us all. Dia, come on. This is the most important line.
You can do it.
But Dia, you defeated the dragon. Everyone's waiting for your speech. Still too shy, huh? All right, I'll do it. I hereby proclaim our victory. Evil shall plague us no more.
I hereby proclaim our victory. Evil shall plague us no more, Dad. What's this?
Don't you remember? You asked Paimon what she would do if she were to... And Paimon said, these opportunities don't come by. Hey! This way you get something from the both... Anyway, the point is that you should eat to your heart's content. You'll feel better for sure. Dunyarzad will also be here shortly. She's already heard that we're back.
Aw, thanks you two. Honestly, this is very unlike me. I just had a lot on my mind on our way back, so I didn't know what to say. My chest was filled with all kinds of intense emotions. They just shook me even more than all the feelings we've shared during our previous adventures. But when everything came to an end, those emotions also vanished without a trace, and I was left feeling more empty than ever before. It was as if I'd lost the thing that was most important to me. Yeah, you're right. To many mercenaries, Mora is the most important thing in the world. But perhaps to us, it's the most worthless thing of all. Idrisi and the others all used to say that my reality shattered when I found out that the father who always told me hero stories was in fact a bad guy. Despite all, we're hypocrites. Yeah, you're right.
You're back! Are all of you alright?
Ah, there she is.
Yeah. Huh?
Paimon will explain.
I'm sorry.
It's all right, my lady. You were hurt by all of this as well.
Dia...
Hey, don't worry about me. If anything, my father probably thought that thought has even crossed my... However, there was always something deep within my mind, but now that I can...
I understand how you feel.
That doesn't mean I won't be... It's just like Idrisi said. I also want to catch up to my father and become a character, even if the ending of the...
Isn't that neat, though? Why don't we go for a change of...
Right.
We'll come along, too.
I can't thank you enough for...
Oh, this rug here is...
Ah, here you are. Finally, I found you.
Hey! Aren't you that mercenary who... Wait.
What? Once I woke up, but when I got there...
Ah, so you...
Yeah, they told I had joined the cause to repay an old favor from Kusela. Now that everyone's already turned themselves in, one of the injured members gave this box to me. Everything left in the camp will get
Thank you.
No worries. We are all just living our own truths. There's no need to comment or judge anyone for it.
So this box...
Well, back in the day. But what's this? It's just a bunch of junk. It was against the act.
That probably...
Did he get those?
Yeah, but here... Who even leaves snacks in a box like this? Forget it. Let me see what else is in here. A wool scarf, which... I'm sorry, my lady. 2 empty...
Huh?
Oh, you're right. All right, I got it out. It seems to be a piece of paper with some writing on it. The bottom part's all damaged from moisture, though. Let's hope the writing... I was suddenly to Dia. It's all right.
My conditions if you're reading this, you were adorable as a baby, but once you... Anyway, back to the reason being...
Wait, what?
Surely...
I don't...
I really felt like But as fate would have it, I went out into the desert for a drink one day. You were just lying there, small and helpless. But your cries were so loud they made my head hurt. I told Idrisi and the others that I had slipped up with a woman while out and about. None of them even doubted me. I'm sorry that I had to lie to them for so long, but I really hadn't. I was their most esteemed leader. At this rate, I'll puke up all the... Anyway, you possess the kind of freedom and kindness that we could only dream of. As far as how you should live your life, that'll be up to you.